Hi, today's video is a get ready with me. And I know I've done a lot of these lately, but it's just like the best way for me to update you guys on my life. I will let you know what I'm using, but I'm using this Revlon Color Stay, and today I'm going grocery shopping and I'm gonna get some more of this. I'm using a brand new sponge. That's how you know it's gonna be a good day. The day has already been a roller coaster and it's like 1 o'clock. I was exposed to COVID on Tuesday. So today is 2 days after Christmas, and I was exposed on Tuesday, on the 22nd. So I was exposed to COVID, and so David and I had to cancel all of our Christmas plans with our families because we were still gonna do Christmas. We were just all gonna be safe, but we just had to cancel it all together because I could not risk, if I possibly did have it, giving it to like David's grandparents. And so I got tested yesterday, and I saw that same person on Saturday. So I saw them on Saturday and Tuesday, and then they tested positive for COVID. And so yeah, so I had to go get tested. That was like a great time. I don't know if you can hear my son, but he will not go to sleep. He's exhausted. He's like beyond exhausted. And that's why I was trying to be quiet at the beginning of this video. Oh boy. Anyways, so yes, I was so nervous that I had COVID. And of course, then every time I cough, I'm like, oh no, I got the Rona, you know? But I got tested and I'm negative, woohoo! Oh, I was so nervous about it. I think the coast is clear for me to talk. Hopefully it is. As I was saying, Simeon did not want to go down for a nap today, so I had to be quiet during that whole time so he would go back to sleep, or go to sleep at all, frankly. Anyways, today I have my very first therapy appointment, and I honestly I'm so relieved that I could cry. And I knew that therapy would be good for me, and it's not like I was against therapy at all, but I don't know why I was just making excuses of reasons not to go, and so I just never went or never like took the steps to go. And I also think that in like the Christian community, like talking about mental health and like admitting that you need help is a very difficult thing, because a lot of people think that if you're not okay, that like you're not believing enough, or that Jesus isn't enough for you. So here's my story. Okay, I went to church a couple weeks ago, and my church was doing this partnership with a foundation called His Heart, and that foundation was started by a woman who 15 years into her marriage, they figured out that her husband had bipolar. They finally got a diagnosis, they finally got him on medication and got him some therapy, and it improved their lives significantly. But it was so hard for them to finally get to that point with insurance and doctors and all of that. And so she just saw a need. And so she started this foundation, and what they do is you contact them and you say, hey, I need help. Basically, they do all of the legwork for you. And so with me, I filled out a form on their website, and she texted me within a day. So she texted me and let me know that she was going to call me on Monday. And I just appreciated that, first of all, because then I could mentally prepare, okay, Monday is when I'm gonna talk to her. And I kind of told her like what was going on. And I also talked about what was going on in the form on their website. And So she found me a counselor who was a Christian counselor because I wanted a counselor who could understand my faith, because my faith is a very big part of my life, obviously. I obviously needed a counselor who took my insurance. So I have Kaiser insurance right now, but starting January, I will be on state insurance because I can't be on my parents anymore. And so I needed a counselor who not only took Kaiser, but took state as well. And yeah, she found me one who fit all of my criteria. And then another thing that she did, which was so incredibly helpful, is she gave me a script of what to say, because with Kaiser, you can't just say, hey, I would like to see a counselor. You have to like talk with their therapist lady, and she gets to decide whether or not you need a counselor, which honestly I find dumb, because if you are like ready and admitting that you need help and they're like, oh no, sorry, your story's not sad enough, or like you're too okay to have a counselor or something like that, you know, I just find that to be really dumb. I was about to say luckily enough, but not luckily enough. My story's kind of sad enough by itself to where they were going to agree to let me see a counselor anyways. But His Heart Foundation, they actually wrote me a script of what to say, because she told me that, you know, a lot of people like to downplay their pain. I totally identified with that because, you know, a lot of times I'm just like, oh yeah, my mom died, it's a bummer. And obviously it's way more than a bummer to me. She told me, like, you know, they have a tendency to not want to let you see a counselor because they have to pay for it. And so you really want to make sure that you're not making it sound like no big deal. So she wrote me out this script, and I didn't follow it to a T, but it was just so nice as someone with anxiety to know exactly what I should say and like how to say it in an eloquent way, because that always like gives me anxiety. I'm like, oh my gosh, do I sound dumb? Do they not understand what I'm saying? Like, that really gets to me, and that's one of the reasons I don't like talking to people on the phone. So that was so nice. And she gave me all the numbers to call. Okay, here's the number that you call for Kaiser. They're gonna recommend you to this lady. This is the script that you need to say. And then once you get off the phone with her, go to this website, fill out this form, and text the counselor, here's her number, and ask if she has any openings. And they just like completely laid it out for me. And so if I had to do that legwork by myself, I can tell you right now, it would have taken me days to figure out what numbers to call, to like get all that figured out. It would have taken me so long. But because they laid it all out for me, it was so easy. Intake lady at Kaiser, she even said, she's like, wow, you have everything figured out, don't you? And I'm like, yes I do. And I cannot like thank His Heart enough. So I will leave their foundation down below. They help people get help, basically. I'm using this Butter London, what it looks like. Butter London in oil slick, and it's like this. I've showed it on my channel before. It's like, I'm getting back into it. I've just always been nervous to get counseling or therapy because I feel like Ross on Friends, where he's like, I'm fine.
I'm fine! Totally fine! I don't know why it's coming out all loud and squeaky, because really, I'm fine.
That's how I feel. I feel like I'm fine. And I'm just going through life. Fine. And I didn't want to open any can of worms that I had packed tightly away and organized. You know, I didn't want to open those because I was fine. And then I was hanging out with my friend Lucy, who's another person that I am like forever grateful for, because I was hanging out with her several weeks ago, and she's like, oh, like, are you seeing a counselor? And I was like, no, like, it's just gonna be too much work, whatever. And she was like, you've been through a lot. If I were you, I would feel like the next thing that you went through would be the thing that makes you break. Like, you might be fine now, but if one more thing happens, that's like your breaking point. And she literally said that, and it was like a light bulb moment for me. I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. I feel like I'm fine, but one more thing, I'm finished, I'm broken, like, and there will be no coming back from that. And so, although I'm fine, I don't want to be just fine. I don't want to be just surviving. I want to be thriving. And that just like completely shifted my thinking and made me realize that I need to make therapy a priority. And so that's when I reached out to His Heart. And that's so hard in the Christian community because, like I said, it can seem like Jesus isn't enough, or you're not praying hard enough, or you don't have enough faith, or whatever. This is what I can tell you. I would not have survived all of the stuff that I have been through if Jesus wasn't in my corner. I can tell you that right now. He made it so I survived this entire thing. So getting divorced, getting kicked out of church, being involved in the police investigation against my ex-husband, my parents getting divorced, my mom committing suicide, me losing my second pregnancy, and, you know, David losing his job during COVID. Like, all that happened within like a 2-year period. And like, I would not have survived without Jesus. I can tell you that right now. But I feel like now God is telling me, okay, I have gotten you through this. Now it's time for you to get help. Now it's time for you to not just survive, but to thrive. And it's kind of like, I've heard this story where this man is standing on the top of his house because his entire city is flooded. And he calls out to God, and he's like, God, help me, you know? And so this person swims by with an extra life jacket, and they're like, hey, take this life jacket, we can swim to safety. And he's like, no, Jesus is gonna save me. And so that guy leaves, and then someone comes by with a boat, and they're like, hey man, get in the boat, we'll save you. And he's like, no, Jesus is gonna save me. Then a person with a helicopter comes by, and they're like, bro, get in the helicopter, we'll save you. And he's like, no, Jesus is gonna save me. So then the guy drowns. I know, crazy story. He drowns, and he gets to heaven, and he's like, God, why didn't you save me? And he's like, bro, I literally sent you a life jacket, I sent you a boat, I sent you a helicopter, like, what more did you want? And that's kind of how I felt. I was like self-conscious that Jesus wasn't enough, and that, you know, I just didn't have enough faith. I forget that Jesus made counselors. He made these people with these specific skills to help us. And so why would I then say that, like, I shouldn't go to a counselor, you know? So I'm really excited to go on that journey. I know that it's going to be a long one. I know it's not going to be easy, and I do feel like a can of worms is going to be open, but I want to be able to process all of this stuff that has happened to me, and so I can be okay. I think a lot of times we feel like, oh, well, I'm not suicidal. I'm, I don't want to self-harm, any of that, so obviously I'm doing fine. I don't need to see a counselor. But I can tell you one thing, that I have never been depressed in my life. I've seen other people with depression, and that's just not me. I'm a generally quite happy person, so I don't think that I'm depressed. I know that I definitely have anxiety, but I've never been depressed. And I never want to kill myself. I know that there's good things to come. I know there's hope around the corner. I know that with Jesus I can do anything, but I'm still just not 100% myself, and I want to be 100% myself. And I have literally seen my mental health manifest itself in me physically. I've been getting migraines often I can't sleep because I get anxiety at night. And it's not like I'm thinking of anything specific, like, oh, what if a robber comes, or like whatever. My heart beats really fast, and like the thought of going to sleep gives me so much anxiety, even though I'm not even thinking of anything. And so a lot of times I have to stay up until I can't physically hold my eyes open anymore. So that's like 3, 4 in the morning every day, and then I get up at like 9 to get Simeon. I feel like I'm exhausted all the time, even when I do get adequate sleep. I'm starting to get, like, I talked about it in another vlog, but just nauseous in the morning, so I can't eat right away in the morning anymore. And I used to be that person who's like, I need food right when I wake up. When my eyes go bing open, I need food in my belly. And now I just get nauseous. I can't eat right away. And in fact, if I eat like the normal amount that I usually do, I feel ill and I feel nauseous. And that's so not like me. How are my brows? Are they like cousins, sisters? I don't know. So that's the update with me. I just thought that I would share that with you guys. So if you are like making excuses like, no, I don't need help, I'm fine, just know that like there are people who can help you, and I'm glad you're fine, but there is more than fine out there. There's more to life than just being fine. And that's what I'm searching for and hoping for and praying for. And I think honestly it'll just be nice to talk to someone. I'd rather just talk to like a third party person, you know? And so I'm excited about it. Oh, have I been telling you what I've been using? Sorry. I use the same crap all the time, but I use my little CoverGirl brow gel, my little CoverGirl pencil, and this is in Honey Brown. And now I'm using my Jaclyn Hill palette, and then I'm just getting the champagne shade and putting it in my inner corner so I can look glowy. This video is already so long. I'm going to get that Butter London Glazing Eye Gloss again. Oh god, I dropped the thing. Anyways, on my tiny little pinky, right? And I'm gonna put it underneath my eyes. But I hope that your guys' Christmas was good. I hope you got to safely spend it with your family members. I got some cool stuff. Like this mirror that I have in front of me is my new makeup mirror, but it is like so much better than my last one. I can't even tell you. Like the fact that I feel like the lighting in this video is pretty okay for me to do get ready with me's. So the fact that I can do it at my desk and I don't have to go and like set up all my makeup on the windowsill there and film in front of the window is so nice. Gonna go in with my Maybelline Lash Sensational. Okay, so if I didn't warn you guys, but if I'm looking this way, it's because that's where my mirror is. And then I have my ring light up here, so hopefully this lighting is okay. But yeah, I hope that you guys had a really good Christmas. I hope you got to safely spend it with your family members. Simeon got a electric car for Christmas, and so I'll insert a little video. It's like so cute. Press it again. So he's been driving that around, and David and I are now wishing that he could take the wires for the horn out. I'm just like trying to be like, okay, you can handle this. He's having a lot of fun. This is what you got him for Christmas. So David got me, I don't know what they're called, but they're like spa socks. And they're like rubber on the inside, so you put lotion on your feet and then you put the socks on and you leave them for a little bit and then you take them off and your feet are all soft. Because I have this weird obsession with my feet and making sure they're super soft at all times, and so that was one of my favorite gifts. And then obviously my makeup mirror is like one of my favorite gifts. He also got me like a little jewelry box that you can travel with and put all your jewelry in, and so I've just been putting my jewelry in it anyway, and it's so nice to have it all in one place. Because I usually take my rings off at night. No, I don't take this necklace off, but occasionally I'll take my diamond earrings out at night if I want to be more comfortable. But you guys are my friends, and I just wanted to update you. We're getting there. Oh, another gift that I got that I love was actually from David's dad, and it is one of those straightener brushes. And I know that it doesn't work for every hair type or everybody, but my hair is mostly straight. It just has some weird spots in it, and so I can now just get that brush and literally just brush my hair straight. It's fantastic. Love it. Ooh, I need setting spray, more setting spray. Remind me to get that. Okay. Can you hear that? I barely have any left. And I need to plug in my fan. Gosh, I'm so, like, I get irritated every time I do my makeup and I don't have my fan. So upsetting. Now I have to do this.
I was busy thinking about boys. I was busy dreaming about boys.
Alright, you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. It really means a lot to me, and it is a free and easy way for you to support me. Women support women, you know, that type of thing. I would love if my hobby slash passion could be my career. So I hope that you guys have a really good week, or as good as you possibly can during this time, and I will see you in my next video.